Hello and welcome to the special 10th episode of Probably Bad Podcast, a podcast that's definitely bad. I'm Maud Pencil.
Today we are reviewing a probably bad film, I think.
I would describe it as a probably bad film.
It's like a 5 out of 10. But yes, the official Dungeons and Dragons movie, starring such names as Jeremy Irons and Danny from Hocus Pocus, and that's pretty much it.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of the film was just Jeremy Irons yelling at people and other people sometimes doing things.
Yeah,
I loved.
there were cameos from Tom Baker and is it Richard O'Brien? AKA the Rocky Horror guy.
But yeah, I loved Jeremy Irons in it. He was just.
Don't recognize the name Jeremy Irons, by the way. Scar from The Lion King.
Imagine Scar from The Lion King, but he is a human, and I'm pretty sure is getting off on every line of dialogue he's giving.
Yeah, Jeremy Irons gives this film 110%.
Like his
so
first...
he is full ham. He's not just ham, he's a full plowman.
His first scene is he has to pick up a magic scepter, and his response is, and his way of doing this is to hover over it, going, yes, yes, and like, I think he licks it at one point.
He's a horny boy.
Yeah, that was his first scene, was he just has to pick up a scepter and he does the whole thing like he's going to bang it.
This scepter, which is basically... This scepter has all the powers of the Empress's scepter, but it can also control red dragons. And somehow that means that if the Empress gets the scepter, she can make everyone equal.
Yeah, like...
Which, out of context, is slightly terrifying.
Yeah, just for...
We're all equal in death.
Just for people who, for some reason, have not sat down and watched the official Dungeons and Dragons movie, the premise of the movie, is it's a city where mages rule over non-mages and oppress them in some vague and unspecified manner.
Basically, the mages are like the nobles?
Yeah, it seems like that's what's going on. And the Empress wants to reverse this and ensure that everyone gets an opportunity to be free. And the mages want to stop her doing this with a magic scepter that controls dragons. And two thieves try and break into the mage's tower, which, to be fair, does work out how most D&D campaigns I've seen go, in that they break in, get distracted by a guinea pig, randomly push a button on a thing they haven't seen, and summon a demon to attract the police. Which is entirely something I can see any of my groups doing.
Replace the guinea pig with a mighty stream of orcish urine, and we did do that.
Yeah. Our groups are great. But yes, then they find a minor mage, and they have to team up because they're being framed to stop a weird guy with blue lips from tracking them down and getting the scepter and starting a dragon war.
Yeah, like, in terms of party composition, I think it is a fairly accurate film. You've got the two players who couldn't decide which one of them got to be the rogue, so they both are. The noble mage who doesn't want to be here, and the meathead tank.
I like the dwarf in that the dwarf has no personality throughout the entire film. He's just the dwarf. I'm not sure I even remember him getting a...
He likes gold and beer and doesn't like elves, and that's his whole thing.
Yeah, like, I literally don't remember if he ever got given a name other than just the dwarf.
Pause while we check.
I hope you're enjoying this hot looking up dwarf names on Wikipedia action you get in the 10th special episode.
He does have a name.
Okay.
His name is Elwood Gutworthy.
Okay, I can see why he didn't use his name very much.
Yeah, I don't remember an instance of him being actually addressed by name at any point, but that's his name.
But yeah,
But
so yeah,
this party though was also one of my first issues with this film. It's not a D&D party. It's very much a protagonist and his helpers. Like,
yeah,
I think his name was Ridley.
Yes, I believe so.
And there's his friend Snails who just dies and is hinted to maybe not be dead at the end. I don't know if they were trying to hint at a sequel or what, but his friend is called Snails, who's played by Marlon Wayans of all people. Is very much the comic relief Frady Cat sidekick.
I feel like I liked Snails, but there was a bit too much Snails.
There was too much Snails, and then there wasn't enough Snails because they split the party, and then pretty much as soon as they get reunited through some means I still don't quite understand, he does the whole noble sacrifice thing.
Yeah, look, the thing is, I'm not quite sure why he did a noble sacrifice. Because again, for people who haven't watched it, at this point, he's been captured by the villain, and
not Jeremy Irons, the Blue Lips guy that works for Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, the villain's main minion. Yeah, he's been captured, and the heroic sacrifice is that he doesn't tell where the scroll is. Except the way he does that is to take the scroll out his pocket and throw it in front of him. And it's like at most 5 feet away from the guy who's trying to get the scroll.
Yeah.
It's not a good sacrifice.
If you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to subscribe on Patreon at patreon.com/probablybadrpgideas. Rewards include access to the Discord server, which includes watch-alongs of bad fantasy and sci-fi films, homebrew content, and bonus episodes.
Also, I did like, in terms of D&D things, at one point they go to the Thieves Guild to get the magic.
Run by Richard O'Brien,
like all Thieves Guilds. And I can't remember why they needed the magic stone at this point. There was a lot of things they needed to collect.
They needed the stone to get a hold of this, to make the scroll work? Something like that? It was unclear. There's a lot of MacGuffins.
There was like 5 magic items they had to get. But the point is, the Thieves Guild, for absolutely no good reason whatsoever, has an underground trap-filled death maze where they keep all of their stuff. And I love the D&D premise that everyone just keeps their things in underground death-filled trap maze.
Well, you know what else Richard O'Brien is known for? The Crystal Maze.
Ah.
I think it might have been a Crystal Maze thing. Because he went through the death maze to get the crystal.
Fair enough. I do like that Richard O'Brien just lives in death mazes in every universe.
This Thieves Guild, though, there's some beautiful races that I have never seen in D&D.
Yeah.
This whole film, I wrote down a list of the races that we saw. Human, beholder, elf, dwarf, probable background orc, watermelon face, purple with 3 eyes, and a human with blue lipstick. Who I'm pretty sure was supposed to not be human, but he was just a human with blue lipstick.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he...
There was some sort of enchantment involving his head, but I was unclear. Jeremy Irons did something to his head.
Jeremy Irons put some kind of snake thing in his head that would slowly kill him unless he got the staff, is what I believe happened.
So it didn't have anything to do with his species. His species is just blue lips.
Yeah, like, I don't know if he was meant to be, like, non-human, or if he just, like, wanted to look pretty that day. It's unclear.
I did enjoy the background watermelon face guy, because it was full on, like, light green with dark green stripes. It was very classic Star Trek. It's just like, we want this guy to look different. We're just gonna paint him however we feel like.
But yes, there was way too many plot threads in that movie, despite the fact that the movie didn't really have much of a plot other than here's the next MacGuffin you need to get.
Yeah.
So,
That said, though, I do feel it was very D&D accurate in that most of them were just going after these various objects, risking their lives multiple times, not because they wanted to create equality or stop Jeremy Irons from getting the powerful MacGuffin. They were just doing it for money.
yeah, I did like that the main character's motivation was basically that he wanted to bang the wizard.
Yeah, there was that as well. Like, this sort of beautiful female mage noble who's like doesn't really like him, and then suddenly they kiss, and it was the most unearned kiss that I've seen in a
Yeah,
long time.
It was the most blatant, okay, there's the male main character and a female main character, and they got a bone.
Like, there wasn't the actual arguing turns into playful bickering like in, say, Gallivant. It was very much just, they hate each other, now kiss.
Yeah, like, it wasn't even really that they hated, they were just kind of vaguely apathetic towards each other in most of the scenes they were in. But yes. Also, I liked the morality at the end of we can't control dragons, and also the Empress is controlling dragons, and she resolves the issue by having a dragon eat the main villain.
Yeah.
Because it was revealed partway through that dragons are the source of magic, and if you control and wipe out the dragons, that will remove magic from the world, which will make the world die. Which I think they sort of put in as a kind of more tangible reason to stop dragon controlling staffs.
Yeah, but again, they didn't. I like to think that most of the people that we've played with would go, okay, well, let's destroy the staff so no one can have it. But instead, it's just kind of the Empress, who is in charge of the country, is like, well, I could just make it so that mages and non-mages are equal, but I need the dragon stick first.
Yeah, like, I really
For
like
no reason.
The whole premise is the Empress wants to do social change. And for some reason, despite being the Empress, is just, if only there was a way I, the most powerful woman in the country, could do something about this.
That's the thing, like, before Jeremy Irons goes all Scar, there's very clear, like, the council is on her side. And also, she's the Empress.
Yeah,
but she can only create equality by gaining control of dragons, which you shouldn't do, but also she wants to.
Like, I'd like a bit at the end where it's like where the main hero gets the dragon staff and is going to control the dragon to kill the villain, and is like, no, I won't do it, I won't be like you. At which point the Empress walks in, uses a dragon staff to kill the main villain, and everyone's like, well, hey.
Yeah. The Empress, who again is played by the little sister from Hocus Pocus, not a huge amount older because this film is from the year 2000.
Yeah.
So he's basically, you've got this guy who's probably like early 20s, being like, morality! I am a true hero now. And then this kid comes in like, yoink! And kills the guy.
Like, again, child walks up with magic artifacts and has a dragon eat everyone. It's very D&D-esque.
It is, but it really doesn't, like, looking at the film outside of the context of D&D.
Yeah.
Bad resolution.
Also, yeah, what right, other things about the film. But yeah, like, to be honest, the main thing I remember about the films is Jeremy Irons screaming every line he has.
Yeah, Jeremy Irons in this film acts as though Yeah, like he was told if he doesn't do a good enough job, someone he loves will be killed, possibly with the dragon staff.
He is
So he'd
acting like
full on,
someone is pointing a sniper at him just off screen.
which is kind of beautiful and very fitting for like a high fantasy villain.
Like,
But
yeah,
also it's like it's a lot.
like to be honest, all of the villains were. I'm not sure good is quite the right term, but all of the villains were memorable. Like, what's his name? The Crystal Maze guy who was running the
Richard
running
O'Brien.
the guild. Yeah, he was doing the whole creepy James Bond villain the entire time he was playing.
Yeah, like his whole betrayal thing where he's like, only naive idiots believe in honor among thieves was kind of beautiful.
And
If slightly undermined by watermelon guy just existing behind him.
And there was the and the guy and the main henchman, the bald one, who has blue lips and maybe some kind of like other fantasy race.
He's called something like Damodar, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm unclear if he's supposed to be something else or just a guy in blue lipstick, but I feel like he's probably supposed to be something else.
And yeah, and he does the whole sinister whispering of every line he does. Like, every line he does, even when he's giving orders to his guards. And you do wonder how they can hear him.
You do a little bit.
Also, on a less film analysis note, I was stifling laughter every time they were like, "Give me the rod," which they did a lot. They just referred to it as the rod and was like, "Give me your rod," or "Give me the rod."
Yeah.
Which wasn't helped by the fact that Jeremy Iron was licking it.
That's the thing. They deployed the full Jeremy Irons so early on. It's just a lot.
Yeah, the plot of the movie was, will you give Jeremy Irons your rod so he can lick it? Which I think is a question we've all struggled with.
Also, can we just shout out Tom Baker for being beautifully Tom Baker? Like, he was a very minor character, but I actually remember that his name was Halvarth because it was Tom Baker and I love Tom Baker.
Tom Baker was very Tom Baker.
Like, that's all I have to say about him. It's worth watching just for the Tom Baker bit.
If you like Tom Baker, it certainly has Tom Baker. But yeah. Also, I did like at the end where the main... So yeah, as we mentioned, the sidekick died. In a somewhat pointless sacrifice. Snails, yeah. Which, like, is a name. But anyway, Snails dies. And then at the end, in the final scene, the main character's at a graveyard and is mourning Snails. And then
they built him a beautiful little grave cairn that has a rock on the top of it with snails written on it in chalk.
And then the wind starts howling, and his name is magically removed from the gravestone. And there's an elf tracker. We didn't mention the elf tracker before because she doesn't contribute a lot. She's just kind of there. Says that, your friend will be waiting for you. And firstly, I love that it's the D&D thing of just, oh, you're dead, you'll be fine in the morning, he's better now. And secondly, I like to imagine that a magical stone just has the ability to wipe people's names off gravestones. Like, that's all it does.
It just blew the chalk away.
And it's just like, is he back? Nope, I can just make gravestones blank.
Yeah, I was trying to find something that I've seen Kristen Wilson, who plays the elf character in. She's been in one thing that I've seen, and that was Mega Python versus Gatoroid, which, if you're at all aware of the Sci-Fi Channel, you won't be surprised to know was a sci-fi original movie.
I'd love any CV that's D&D movie and Mega Python versus Gatorade.
Gatoroid, not the drink Gatorade.
Like, it's a sci-fi movie. I wouldn't be surprised if there's sentient Gatorade monsters.
I mean, that is fair. But yeah, she, yeah, I don't think she's a major character in it, but she's in it.
Like, she's not so much... Like, she's sort of a minor character who's just always around for, like, the second half of the movie.
Yeah, that's pretty much what she is in Mega Python versus Gatoroid. Like, I'm double checking the plot summary now because it's a while since I've seen it.
Does she not play the Mega
she's-
Python or the Gatoroid?
No, she's the protagonist's friend who shows up like, "Hi, I'm fine." So not a major role.
Mm. You're a major role. I'm sorry, that was incoherent.
You might want to edit that bit out.
Yes, that was... I am keeping track of, like, what's going on in my life. Yeah, so... But yeah, like, I did like just how much it was, here's another MacGuffin, how are you going to fuck up getting this one? They get sucked into a map at one point. And I'm still not quite clear what happened.
That's like very early on. It's like we know that we need to get to this place because we have this map that Ridley's dad left him, and Ridley knows the magic words. It doesn't know that they're magic words, so he puts his hands on the map and says the words, and just disappears into the map like Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, I'm not quite clear whether they teleported or what. I think they teleported.
I think we're supposed. I think they teleported, but nothing is really explained.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that aren't.
I feel like some light comes out of a map and then you are somewhere else. It's fair to read that as teleportation.
Like,
I think.
yeah, there's also the... So, yeah, the maker of the staff is a zombie now, and says that anyone who misuses the staff will face a terrible fate, and they don't.
Thing is, I don't think it's even misuses it. It's just his hubris made him use it full stop, and now he's cursed. And then he's just like, and then Ridley asks for it, and he's like, "Oh, sure, here you go."
I do love it's like, no one may take this staff, for it is cursed and evil. Can I have it? Yeah, sure. He's the most apathetic guardian of a cursed magical artifact I've ever heard.
And honestly, kind of one of my favourite characters, because he's just like, sure.
He just...
like, his entire thing is just, this may as well happen.
He just bigs it up for like 2 minutes, and then he's just like, yeah, I guess you can have it. Oh, so, because, yeah, there was also...
Maybe if he gets rid of it, he can finally die. Because I think it's strongly implied that he's just been a skeleton trapped in spider webs for, like, centuries.
Yeah.
And that's no life.
Yeah, there's also, like, yeah, the fuck, I keep forgetting the blue-lipped guy's name. But yeah, he gets an weird snake thing implanted in his head. And nothing comes of that, really.
I think he almost uses it to hurt someone and then is stopped.
He does mind read the the mage person with it, but like, it's implied it's killing him, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything, and then it's removed, and then he's fine. But yeah, there's a lot of weird magical plot threads which aren't really brought up. Like, it does feel like a GM who keeps trying to world build while you ignore it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, like, I did actually like the movie. Like, it wasn't good.
I mean, I'm still on a 5 out of 10. Like, It definitely wasn't good, but it wasn't bad enough for me to then like come back around to liking it.
I would
Because
recommend.
as I said, I am a person who watches sci-fi original movies for fun.
I would recommend getting it, cutting out all of the scenes that don't have Jeremy Irons in, and the one with
No, we
Tom
can
Baker
keep the
in.
Tom Baker bit.
Yeah, all the scenes with Jeremy Irons in, and the scene with Tom Baker in, and just watch that. It won't make any sense, but it wasn't going to make sense anyway.
And it will be the single greatest piece of ham acting that you've ever seen.
I like that there's a point where he's trying to persuade the council to stand against the Empress, and he's obviously trying to be subtle and like manipulative, but he's still coming off in ridiculous ham mode. Just
Yeah,
not.
he's subtle and manipulative in the way that like a bad guy in a show for 5-year-olds is subtle in that like he's doing all the sneering and he's doing the voice and everything, but the words are nice, so that's okay.
I mean, to be fair, it does end with "we should kill the Empress," so I feel he
Well,
goes
yeah,
from.
but that's after he's got them riled up. He
Yeah,
doesn't
I like how
start. He doesn't
I like how
start with "kill this child."
I like how he goes from 0 to 100. It sort of feels like a kind of moral prank. Like, do you all agree to do what I want you to? Yeah, cool. We're killing kids.
What it is, it's the moral maze. Appropriately, the moral dungeon.
The real elaborate death trap filled dungeon was the moral dilemmas the party must face. Except the moral
Along
dilemmas
the way.
are do we kill kids, which perhaps isn't that hard. On the other hand, this child does attack him with an army of dragons, so this is maybe more morally complex than I thought.
I guess the ultimate question raised by this film is it moral to kill someone with an army of dragons in order to make the class system less based on ability? Is what I'm getting? Because, like, presumably there's still gonna be Empress and things like that. Like, she's not gonna turn it into a socialist paradise.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's a point.
We're just gonna be less mean to non-mages.
That is a point, actually, yeah, because it's still gonna be run by, like, presumably she's hereditary, given that she's, I don't know how old she is, but she's young. So I assume she's, like, inherited the position. And
sorry, I just want to look up how old she actually was in it.
Like, I'd guess 4.
Yeah, she was like 18, 19 in this.
Okay. So yeah,
but I feel like she was supposed to be younger than that.
Yeah,
the character.
I thought she was being played as like maybe 15 or 16, but the point is, I assume she's inherited the position then.
Yeah, I mean the title Empress implies hereditary head of an empire as well. Like it's not just this one country. This is a colonialist power.
But it's now a colonialist power that doesn't oppress mages. No, it doesn't oppress non-mages. So everything's fine.
It's like I said, it's basically let's make it less of a meritocracy. Because let's be honest, in a fantasy world, mages are quite important.
But also,
it's a complicated issue.
It is a complicated issue, or we could just have dragons attack everyone and resolve it that way.
Yeah. And it does remind me a little bit of when like superheroes are like, I don't kill, but then are like, I'm not gonna kill this person. I'm just gonna throw them off a skyscraper. Yeah, that's fine. Or like, I will kill all of your minions, but I won't kill you because I'm a good guy.
I don't kill, but if a dragon happens to eat you as a direct result of my actions, you can't hold me responsible for that one. Like, Batman must have killed so many people through brain injury. It's not really relevant to the movie, but like, he must have put so many. He must have killed people. Anyway, Batman is bad. Is the point of this movie, I believe. Don't give Batman dragons.
So that seems like a good point to end this probably bad film review.
I hope
if you have a question for one of our normal episodes, you can send it to us at probablybadrpgideas on Tumblr or email probablybadpodcast@gmail.com.
And we hope you enjoyed a slightly different episode this week.
Yeah. And don't forget, if you want bonus episodes, homebrew content, all that jazz, or just to watch some D&D related films with us over on the Probably Bad Discord server, you can head to patreon.com/probablybadrpgideas. Or if you don't have money, you don't want to give us money,
which is reasonable,
you don't believe in money, just give us a review or rating on your favorite podcatcher. One day I'll be able to say that word without trying really hard. Or give us a follow on Facebook or Twitter. And remember to have a probably bad day.
I feel that went well.